many people nowadays have shoulder pain. I can't tell you the numerous amounts of people from all walks of life, from athletes to people who occasionally work out to people that have never worked out before in their lives. They all tell me one thing: I wish there was a way that I could get rid of this excruciating shoulder pain. The shoulder joint is a complex but simplistic joint. It can move all different directions, but if not treated the right way through our exercises in everyday life, can become very cumbersome. It can lock up in places, it can create a lot of scar tissue in those areas, and if certain muscles, because of our posture, are overused and we hunch forward like our pecs and our lats, and certain muscles aren't strengthened enough like our cervical and thoracic, our mid-back and our upper neck extensors aren't strengthened, then these things can actually lock in place and hinder us for the rest of our lives of having that range of motion. If you're one of those people that can just bring your arm all the way above your head with no issues at all, no clicking, no popping, etc., fantastic. Okay, this video is not for you. This video is for people that have chronic shoulder pain and are looking for a routine that can help improve inflammation in their body, so decreasing that inflammation in those joints. They want to have better alignment. They want to have better range of motion and flexibility in their joints and better shoulder stability. Then you can get back to your normal shoulder routines. So if you're one of those people that just reaches above your head and try to get to the plate and has very weak stability, stay tuned. If you're one of those people that has shoulder pain on an everyday basis, this is the video for you. If you're one of those athletes doing jiu-jitsu or doing grappling sports that has just deep shoulder pain from days on end of grappling, this is the video for you. Stay tuned. We got 4 great exercises to show you in this routine that within 4 to 6 weeks, you're going to see a significant improvement in. All right, so remember, the whole purpose of this shoulder routine is to reduce chronic pain, inflammation, increase flexibility, and range of motion, okay? We're gonna be doing 4 exercises. Each one of those exercises is gonna be 1 minute long with a 30-second rest in between. Now, the equipment you're gonna need is you're gonna need a stability ball. You're gonna need 2 different pairs of dumbbells. One, a lighter pair, somewhere 5 to 10 pounds. The other one a little bit heavier, somewhere between maybe 12.5 to 20 pounds, depending on your strength level. I'm gonna recommend for beginners or for people that have really bad chronic shoulder pain to do this complete round 1 time, all right? You do this routine 3 times weekly, all right? So add this into your routine 3 times a week. Now, if you have just moderate shoulder pain and you just have some moderate clicking and stiffness in the joints, then you can do 2 to 3 rounds of this routine for the first week. Again, you're doing it 3 times a week. Now, after week 1, for those beginners, if you want to add that second round in, that's fine, okay? So for beginners, again, you go up to that 2 rounds of this routine, but still keep it 3 times a week. Moderate to advanced lifters can do 2 to 3 rounds. So this whole routine is going to be for 4 weeks. Now, after those 4 weeks, you stick to these exercises, you're going to see a significant improvement in not only your range of motion, but your stiffness in your joints and definitely some reduction in pain. All right, so let's get right into it with the first exercise, which is going to be a side plank external rotation. Now, you'll notice with these exercises before we begin that I'm doing the isolation exercises first, and then we're going to get to that overhead press compound movement at the end. We want to prime those rotator cuff muscles first and then get into those overhead presses at the end of the workout. So again, let's get right into that first exercise. All right, so since we're doing a side plank, which is a unilateral movement 1 side at a time, you can either do 30 seconds on each side, which we're gonna do here, or 1 minute on each side. It's up to you. So a couple different options. You can be up on your toes, or you can do this on your knees, depending on your level of strength. You want that dumbbell by your side. Let's go ahead and get started. We're up, and we're gonna do an external rotation, which is bringing the arm straight back. You want to make sure that you're keeping that elbow in close to your side and that it doesn't flare out as you're bringing that arm up. Okay, you really want to hit those infraspinatus and teres minor muscles on the back of that shoulder, okay, as you're doing this. Now, we're really strong in internal rotation, so try not to bring it too far in. Keep it right about here and externally rotate, keeping those hips up nice and high. Try not to turn your body too, okay? So we're at about 30 seconds. We're going to switch sides. up high. And again, you can do this for 1 minute on each side for more of you advanced people. You can have a couple different options when doing the side plank, like I stated earlier. Put that foot back. You can stack it. Or you can go to your knees when you're doing this. But keep that elbow in tight. You can even see with me, this is the shoulder that's bad for me, is that elbow wants to come and lift up. Try to keep pressing it down. A lot of times people will use a towel when they're doing this to help keep that support in there. So definitely recommend that if you're one of those people that have some really bad shoulder pain. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the next exercise, which is going to be a prone shoulder press with a T-raise. So you're going to need a stability ball for this one. All right, so for this exercise, let's get on the stability ball on your stomach. Make sure it's not on the diaphragm. You're going to grab those lighter weights. Make sure the toe's against the wall if you need it. Or head's going to be down. You're going to raise that straight out into a T position, squeezing your back muscles. So let's go ahead and get in position. And let's start. So I always want to make sure when I'm doing this that my head is facing the ground. I don't want to have my neck up like this when I'm doing the raises. It puts a lot of stress on your spine. So head down, chin tucked in towards you if you can. Make sure you're not activating those upper traps. And I'll show you from a different angle here while we're doing this. Okay? Make sure you're not elevating your traps like this. Really try to drive your shoulder blades to your back pockets while you're doing this. Okay? Squeezing those glutes, keeping them nice and tight. And after a minute of this, you're really going to feel it in your middle back. If you're feeling it in your upper traps too much, again, shake it out, readjust, and bring it back more. So keep that T raise, but you're pushing your shoulder blades back. Nice work. Okay, we're going to follow that immediately up with a prone press. So same position, you're going to grab the dumbbells the same way. I love this exercise because I don't see a lot of people do it enough, and it really is a great way to work on strengthening the proper rotator cuff muscles and to get your shoulders stronger. Okay, very lightweight, and you're going to press out and bring it back. Okay, make sure to keep that head down. Now, I like to do it again against the wall so I can squeeze my glutes. And when you start this, 1 minute is a long time, and it might be too much for your shoulders. And if that's the case, then you can definitely just drop the weights, okay, and continue doing it with your hands. You just want to make sure, again, I'll show you from this angle here, that you're keeping your glutes nice and tight and keeping those legs relatively straight. Don't bend your knees. And when you try to press, you want to press up, okay? Keep going. And you'll notice I come back on my feet a little bit if the ground is slippery. Make sure you dial that in. Let's get one more. And relax. Nice work. Feel that a lot in my lower back and my lats, all the way up the kinetic chain to my shoulders. So great overall exercise for not only your shoulders, but for your lower half of your body and your glutes and spine as well. Let's go ahead and get into the fourth exercise, which is going to be a dumbbell high elbow extension. So again, what we're trying to do is have our toes nice and straight. Our elbows are going to start like this. Okay, so again, from this angle with a nice 90-degree bend. Let's do it. Rotate, press up. And yes, I'm using relatively lighter weight for a reason. I'm focusing on what I'm trying to work. Again, this workout is designed for people that have shoulder pain. If it's too much shoulder pain for you to do this position right here, you can keep your elbows in here, rotate, externally rotate, and then push up. So you're just adding a little bit more of a movement here. You're going elbows first, then here, then press. And that'll take a little bit of the strain of holding it in this position. Okay, so again, we're here, press up, bring it back down. 1, 2. And we're squeezing those shoulder blades, especially right here, squeezing the shoulder blades, rotating, squeezing those shoulders, and then pressing up. We're working all those rotator cuff muscles. You got your subscapulars, you got your infraspinatus, and your supraspinatus, and that teres minor. Priming those up. You can see how the next exercise we're coming in is gonna all come together. Nice work. Okay, so let's get into our last exercise, which is gonna be an Arnold press. So again, toes shoulder width apart. The Arnold press, you're gonna come all the way up, bring it down, and then rotate it in with your palms, okay? Let's go ahead and get started. And we're gonna press. As we bring it down, we're rotating in. Now again, I'm not doing a weight that I'm used to doing for overhead press. If I'm used to doing, 30 or 40 pounds, I'm probably gonna be doing 15 to 20, almost half that weight for this press movement, because I'm trying to focus on squeezing the shoulders, activating those right areas, and not just trying, and you really don't wanna arch your back. A lot of times I see when they're pressing, they're trying to aggressively press up and they're arching their back. This again is really hitting a 360 degree of all your deltoids, posterior, lateral, and anterior. And still, since I primed those rotator cuff muscles before, I'm feeling that burn too. And 1 minute is a long time. So keep that abs nice and tight, dial it in, and stay with it. That's it, we're done. So you can see how those first 3 exercises lead you up to doing that proper overhead press movement without pain. Again, if you have pain doing that overhead press movement, that last one, take that exercise out. Do the other 3 for the next week, for the first week, and then take that overhead press movement, that Arnold press, bring it in and add it to the second week. If you still have pain on that, doing an overhead press movement, take it out again. Do those exercises for another week. On that 3rd week, bring that exercise in. If you're still having pain with the overhead press, then take it out completely. Just do 4 weeks of those first 3 exercises, and then after that, you can reevaluate what's going on in that shoulder joint that's giving you that pain in that shoulder press, because this is designed to, again, increase your flexibility and your range of motion and increase the strength in your rotator cuff muscles. So it might be something else going on in there. So again, check out our other Fit After 40 videos on how to work out properly without stressing your body. And remember, be safe, be active, be healthy, and we'll see you in the next video.